Right. Um, yeah, I am live. Okay. Welcome to the Discourse About Nothing, episode 11. Uh, which I have put absolutely no effort into filming or producing or anything at all. I don't feel very good. I'm very tired. And I don't really want to make a video, and I don't know why I'm even doing it other than just as a sort of therapeutic thing for me because nobody watches my videos really. So I don't know what the point of putting these thoughts out there, but I feel like if I don't kind of make these thoughts concrete and put them somewhere right now, I'm going to lose my mind. Because I've been thinking and thinking and thinking about filming a video on this and thinking about what to do for weeks, and I just don't. I have not had the desire to do it or to really do anything. And I just it got to a point a couple minutes ago where I just honestly was like so frustrated by what I've been thinking about that I can't get off my mind that I just have to make something on it, even if it's, you know, my crappy room with my crappy webcam and crappy mic at 10 o'clock at night, um, with no introduction or editing. So I'm just gonna wing it and describe to you these two frustrations I'm having. They're not just personal gripes. These have to do with philosophy, and these have to do with the things I'm interested in research wise. Um, but I don't have the mental energy to put any more effort into it than what I'm about to do. So bear with me, and hopefully at least somebody watches this. But there's these two things that are capitalistic and our internet society and culture has really promulgated, and it's getting more and more intense. Um, and it absolutely disgusts me, and it makes me very frustrated, but it also just like makes me very sad, and frankly depresses me, and I've been very depressed about what I'm talking about right now. But these two new ways for human beings to corrupt themselves, essentially, these two new ways for human beings to sell out their souls, for some sort of profit or fame or attention, are two ways of being an influencer. And you know, the first way is regards religion, being a religious influencer. The second way regards being an art influencer or supposedly an artist. Um, I'll talk specifically about photography. So, I just put out a couple photo books. I self published them. I put a massive amount of effort into them. It took me to get about 60 pages and about 50 photographs that I felt really proud of. It literally took 10 years of cultivating these images. And it took a lot of time and energy to develop these photo books, collect them all, order them, edit everything, and to reflect long enough to have something I want to say with my work in photography and to be able to frame it. And the amount of work I put into these, um, I mean, it was significant. I put a significant amount of work into these. And it kind of dawned on me while I was doing this that because I was kind of inspired to do this by watching some of the YouTube photographers who make all these photography zines. But then as I was doing it, it really dawned on me that most people just don't put in effort like I'm putting in. That's not to say that their results are any worse than mine. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that like people don't really care. like I care. A lot of people don't. And that sounds kind of narcissistic maybe, but as I really thought about this, it dawned on me more and more that as I watch these, um, specifically these art YouTube channels that focus on photography, we have a whole generation of photographers who call themselves artists and conceive of themselves as creatives with large followings. And essentially, what they're doing with their entire lives and careers is that they're selling either nostalgia, they are creating artwork that is purely nostalgic. Um, it kind of gets the vibe of film, right? It kind of has that vintage look that we all like. Everybody on Instagram likes. Um, and if they're not doing that, then what they're doing is they're putting a lot of effort into editing product review videos. And it doesn't always seem like a product review, but it is a product review. Um, I'm going to call specific people out. Let me look up. Oh, I'm calling people out like anyone's going to watch this video and it's going to matter at all. But, uh, GxAce is a perfect example of this. GxAce, I will put his videos in the comment. But he really spends a ton of time, and this guy's not that big of a YouTuber, but he spends a ton of time cultivating an aesthetic on his channel. Okay? Um just a really awesome looking channel. He's got some cool, like very cyberpunk influenced, Blade Runner influenced aesthetics in his videos, and he just really has a great look. Well cultivated. Tons of effort goes into his videos, except that it's all just a gimmick, completely a gimmick, because 99% of his videos are reviews of products. And so you have a lot of effort being poured into essentially trying to whet consumers' appetites to buy a new lens or a new camera, or to thirst after some new photography product that you don't really need and that doesn't really matter if you have. And frankly, while people are starving, while more and more people slip into poverty, it's just it's an entire channel that's pretty much dedicated to just reviewing photography products, but it looks like art because it looks cool and it's a product review. A bunch of people are starting to like it, and this goes for everybody else on YouTube too. I can name a million names in the photography space online, but all they're really doing is product reviews that look cool, that have a nice vibe to them. And it's just when you really step back and think about it, at the end of our era, what will any of these people have left behind? I mean, seriously, like maybe they have some cool photographs, but their channels aren't even focused on their actual art they produce. The thing that everybody watches them for, including me, is just product reviews. What they will have left behind is they will have spent an inordinate amount of time um essentially doing free advertising to get you and me to desire to buy more things, to consume, and constantly just acquire more and more gear that we don't actually use and need. And then we get that gear, and what do we make with it? Nothing. Most of us, I'm sorry, most of us just don't have it in us to make something really great, a really great work of art. It takes time and effort, and it takes training and understanding. It takes incredible amounts of practice, It takes honesty with yourself. It takes having some sort of end or goal that you're pursuing beyond just yourself and beyond just expression or advertisement. So what you end up doing is this person puts all this effort making their product placement look cool, their product reviews look cool. It makes you want to buy it. You end up buying the photography gear, and then the only thing you really know how to do is make more products look cool. And at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're whetting the appetites of fat, sweaty hogs like us who just spend all of our time and money buying and selling, buying more and more, never being pleased with it, and never really doing anything with the things we buy. It's disgusting. It's not real art. It is the veneer of art. It's lipstick on a pig. It is a beautiful golden paint over a corroded, rusted out, disgusting metal structure. Right? There's nothing there. It's just ephemeral, passing desire to consume with no real end, with no real goal. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's what like 99% of YouTube photography is. And if it's not that, then it is nostalgia, which is just another type of selling you something. It's like, oh, remember how nice that time used to be? Remember how that 80s look, that 90s look, that 60s and 70s film look was. You should want to get a camera that looks like this. And it just produces the same stuff over and over again. It doesn't produce anything new. It doesn't produce anything meaningful. It's just a vibe. And that vibe ultimately just makes you desire something else. You're not even desiring the photo, the object itself. So all of these YouTube like art influencers, all they really do is just make you want something else. Their art doesn't make you want the art itself. It makes you want something else, and it goes infinitely until you die, but there's nothing really left there. There's nothing really meaningful there. It's really just attention for the artist, the influencer, and maybe money, but mostly attention, and then, having an outlet for your creativity. But the problem is the outlet for your creativity, it doesn't actually have any real value. Sorry, it doesn't really have any value. All it is, all these channels are, all these videos are just instruments for selling something, instruments for making you feel like you want something more. And it's not that it's sinister. It's not that this person, and any of these YouTubers I'm talking about, are sitting there going, how do we make people buy our product? It's not their product. A lot of these things were made 40 years ago. These vintage lenses and stuff people always review, they're made 40 years ago and they're cheap on eBay. No one's making money off that. The problem is that it's just like we have nothing else to offer the world other than being consumers and encouraging other people to be consumers. We have nothing left. We don't believe in anything. We don't want anything. We just want to consume and try new things forever. And we don't ever want to come to some goal. We have no goal. We have nothing other than just us little oinking piggies buying and selling. And it's the same thing with these religious influencers. It is insane to me how much Christian YouTube or YouTube Christianity has flourished in the last couple years with all these channels. And there are some really good channels that actually have like scholars or well-informed people talking about things that are interesting, presenting their research or their thoughts, and those are really important. There's also more spiritual channels that I really like Mole Monastery. They have some good stuff to say and some really encouraging things and some really important insights. But for the vast majority of these religious influencers, these people are essentially famous for doing nothing, for essentially just putting on the veneer of Christianity, going on social media and making memes. And this is, it happens a lot on YouTube, but it's really happening a lot on TikTok and Instagram. There's like whole segments of TikTok and Instagram that are just like Christian talk or Christian gram. And it's just these people dying for attention. And a lot of it, there is a lot that's evangelical, but there's also a lot that's very trad Cath, like traditional Catholic, fairly right wing conservative Catholic. And they just go on, and I mean, it's literally, it's hard to even describe because it sounds so insane. But these people are just making entire careers and lifestyles out of being identifying as Christian or in this case, especially Catholic, right? Identifying as Catholic and posting memes and little short TikToks and Instagram videos about how like, oh, you think life doesn't begin at conception? That's bad. Or I mean, that's not really what they say. What's the one I'm thinking of? It's something like, I don't know. I'm thinking in particular of this girl, Religious Hippie, who's even been interviewed on one of my old favorite podcasts I just can't stand anymore, Pints with Aquinas. And all she does is she posts things like a selfie, and it will be like a checklist, like you're a woman, check. You're young, check. You're Gen Z, check. But you're anti-abortion, check. You're pro-life, check. What? That's crazy. And it's just like so self-aggrandizing, and these people are so famous, and people, I'm calling out again the Catholic online community, just eat it up because it's giving them exactly what they want. It has nothing to do with theology. It has nothing to do with the history of the church. It has nothing to do with Jesus. It has nothing to do with the apostles. It's just a way of getting attention and selling yourself as a brand. And it's just, there is just a whole, our era is just producing all of these new ways to corrupt ourselves and to whore ourselves out. And I just can't take it anymore. I can't take seeing it. I can't take living in it. That, again, getting back to what I started the video with, that there are these just two ways of whoring yourself out now, of corrupting yourself. One being an art influencer, where essentially you're just doing really stylized product reviews and making the fat little piggies that watch you want more stuff that they don't need. And then the other one is being a religious influencer, which is putting on the very shallow veneer of religiosity and then making the fat little religious piggies that are watching you want essentially to be affirmed in their identity, which is, again, especially for American Christians, even if they're Catholic, has nothing to do with actual Christianity. It's more about American conservative religious or political norms and cultural norms. It's just disgusting. And I guess I'm focusing on these two things because so much of my life and so much of my effort that I put into things, I put it into my art, I put it into my philosophy and theology writing. And it's extremely taxing, to be honest. Like, I don't enjoy things. I don't enjoy a lot of things I spend my time on, like reading. I don't like it. I do it because I think it's important and I want to understand things because I'm pursuing something, right? Not just pursuing attention or fun or self-aggrandizement. I'm pursuing something, namely God or the truth or understanding about certain things. But I don't like doing it. And then with my art, I'm pursuing something. I'm pursuing making an artwork that can stand the test of time, even if no one sees it, that it's worthy of love, that it's worthy of respect and admiration, that it's really actually valuable. That's more than just a product. That's more than just a brand or something that people look at and it makes them remember something in the past and crave it. And I've been putting a lot of effort into that over the last 15 years. And in the last year, I've put a ton of effort into it with very little success. And I'm just like at my wit's end, frankly, with seeing what is popular and seeing what we think is good as a culture and society. And I just wanted to essentially call attention to that and get it off my chest. Um, because again, once you start analyzing what these people are doing, it breaks down that they're not really doing art. They're not really making artworks that are inherently valuable in themselves or that are aesthetically interesting. They're just making product reviews. These are just aesthetic tools to get you to want something else, to get you to be a good capitalist piggy. Or they, in the religious influencer case, they are essentially just creating different religious brands that don't really actually have much to do with the religion or the practice of the religion. And it's just these are the people who get attention, and these are the people who we laud, and who some of the most influential voices with young people online really look to. And it's depressing. It makes me feel like, what is even the point in trying with my own work? And I mean, if you want to know what the point of trying is, if you want my actual full extended thoughts of these, you should buy a set of my photo books, because each one has a brief essay on the philosophy of photography where I kind of reflect on these sorts of things and I go into more detail. But it really is just absolutely heartbreaking and frustrating to see these things get more and more popular. Like, at the end of the day, in 100 years, our generation will have left literally nothing behind but bullshit. Our greatest minds, our greatest artists will be advertisers. And even the people we look to and think, wow, they did a really cool job. They did a really good job making an aesthetic, making a vibe on their YouTube channel. It'll end up just being a brand, and that brand will just be a tool to sell you things, or to essentially advertise for other people. And that's what all of our lives will be. We will define ourselves by collecting items, whether that be toys, whether that be followers, whether that be just like collecting experiences that are pleasurable. We'll just be essentially collecting little trinkets, and then we'll die and we'll be gone, and there'll be nothing left. We'll have left nothing. We'll have done nothing. We'll have been nothing. And I don't know, just really depressing. There is something higher to pursue. There are things that are higher to pursue. Unless you're a nihilist, there are things that are higher than what we pursue to pursue. There is a higher calling for mankind. There are uses for art. There are types of art that can transcend the finite reality of the human lifespan and can be something more. You can be something more, and not only can you be something more, you can make something more. You can leave something more behind. And I'm not just talking about, bettering the world by being an activist or giving to charity. No, I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about you can leave things behind that even if no one ever sees them or cares about them, the world was better because they existed. Because it made the history of the world more beautiful. And even if that history ends someday, it will have been more beautiful because you brought something into existence like this. And these channels, these influencers, they don't make the world more beautiful by doing product reviews, by beautifully framing a subject that essentially is overly mass produced and polluting the world, and then trying to get you to want more of those made and to consume more. Well, like I said, people slip into poverty and our environment is completely destroyed. it will, this isn't a very formal rant, but it will burn up. If there is a last judgment, it will burn up like chaff and be separated from the wheat. It's just like a worthless way to spend your life and time. It's worthless. I'd like to start talking more about on this channel and in my work, uh, not just criticisms of things, but positive ways to transcend, positive ways to go higher, to be more and to do more, and to leave more behind. But I don't think anybody's ready to take that seriously. I don't think anybody's ready for that. Myself included, because we haven't really accepted how impoverished our culture is and how impoverished we are. We haven't even begun to see that we need something more. And so what would be the point of me putting more effort into my philosophy videos or anything to try to tell you, what I've found or what other people have said about that there's something more out there? No one's even ready to hear it. I'm not even ready to hear it. I'm still stuck in this cycle too. So that's part of the reason why I didn't put very much effort into this video or write anything. I'm just sitting here rambling. Anyway, to the art influencers and to the religion influencers all over social media, screw you. I hate the stuff you do. It's awful. It's disgusting. And everyone watching this, I hope that one day you become better than that. I hope that I become better than that. I swear to God, if you ever see me make a product review, just kill me. Come to my house and kill me. Okay? I want everything I do to actually mean something, other than just making you, the little piggies, want more. Okay? So just think, I guess what I'm saying at the end is just think about the actual value of the things you do. Are they essentially just free advertisement? Are they essentially just feeding into the stupid appetites of the masses without really having an end or a goal in mind? Are they essentially just confirming the biases and ideologies and weird screwed up identity fusions of religious and political and social norms that people have? Or are they aimed at something higher? Are they aimed at something that will last and that matters? And or does it just make you feel good in the moment? Because pigs really love eating their slop. When you give a pig slop, it eats it up. Oh, baby. So sorry for this weird rant. It's been 28 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, you're not really watching anyway, so I don't care. No one's really seeing this. Probably watching the religious hippie on Instagram, or Matt Fradd's stupid podcast where he just essentially interviews Joe Rogan guests. Sorry, had to say it. Shout out to Jimmy Akin, though, one of the best Catholic YouTubers and personalities. Actually does real stuff. Love you, Jimmy, if anyone ever sees this.